Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Love Our Life. Today, we're going to do something that you guys have been asking us about for a while and kind of clarify what exactly it means to be a universal pass holder and why you should become one. So let's get into it and let's talk about it. Now, the thing is, when you decide which pass you want a little bit of clarity, right? You want to understand why you're buying a certain pass and why it makes sense to you to buy these certain passes, correct? So you do want to know, like, hey, am I getting the best bang for my buck? Am I not getting the best bang for my buck? Or what is going on with this? So I'm here to help you decide which pass you may want, or even if annual passes are for you. So let's get into it and let's talk about it. Let me pull all the prices up for you guys real quick, and then we can talk about this at length and extension here. Let's just look. Here we are at the Universal Pass, or the Universal website, and we're going to go through all this and talk about it real quick. See, we have nothing in our cart here, so let's go down here to annual passes. Now, there are two different options. There are Florida resident and there are general price. So we are going to assume at the beginning of this video that you are not an annual pass holder, okay? We're just going to assume so. So let's take a look at the different prices here. We have a seasonal pass, which is $425, a power pass, which is $475, the preferred pass, which is $630, and the premier pass, which is the most expensive, obviously, at $905. Now, one thing before we go any further about this is that you can do a flex pay option with any of these passes except for seasonal pass. You cannot do it on seasonal. Now, I guess it's because it's so cheap, but at the same time, Power Pass is $475, so you can do that for around $23 a month. And Preferred Pass is $630. You can do that for around $31 a month. And then Premier Pass is $905. You can do that for around $44 a month. Now, I will tell you that these prices do go up from time to time. Usually every year or every year and a half, the prices do increase. But what you're asking and why you're here is, which pass should I get? Why should I get it? And which one is the best for me? Well, overall, here's the biggest thing that you have to understand. These first two passes, the seasonal pass and the power pass, they both have blockout dates. Now, you can also see as we go down here where the blockout dates apply, you can actually click on this and it'll tell you which dates apply. So if you're going into the rest of the year here, you're actually, with the power pass, you're blocked out December 23rd through the 31st, but not Thanksgiving. That's interesting. And then next year, January 1st through the 2nd, March 8th through the 30th, which is obviously during spring break usually, and then December 21st through the 31st. So this is pretty awesome because the Power Pass, you don't get any blockout dates during the summer and all the way up during like Halloween Horror Nights and stuff like that. Now, the Seasonal Pass is a little different. That is the lowest tier and the cheapest one. You can see here July 31st through 1st to the 31st, November 20th through the 25th, and December 23rd through the 31st. And then so on with next year. It's very similar. Now, the thing to remember is that there are certain days, obviously, you have to leave the park because of Halloween Horror Nights. If you don't have a special ticket for that, or everyone has to leave the park unless they have a special ticket for it. But overall, those are some pretty solid blockout dates. Actually, those are the best blockout dates that I have seen. Now, the seasonal pass obviously does not get you in during Thanksgiving. But Power Pass will, if you want to have a Thanksgiving tradition to go do that. A lot of people do that. Trust me, I see it every year. There's a lot of people that come during Thanksgiving and want to, experience Grinchmas. So either way, on both of these passes, you still get to experience Grinchmas, which is awesome. and is a free event within your ticket, right? So if you're an annual pass holder or you have a normal day ticket, you get Grinchmas for free, which is awesome. Now, some of the food that's there, obviously you have to pay for, just like you would Mardi Gras and stuff like that. But also, it looks like when you go through this, none of the special events are blocked out for you. So you can go to all the special events. And in my opinion, that's pretty awesome, even if you're at the seasonal pass. It's pretty amazing. Let's continue on here. Seasonal pass. You do not get prime parking or self-parking. You have to pay for parking for seasonal. No early park admission. You do get some hotel discounts and discounts on select theme park tickets or whatever. So let's move on to Power Pass. Now, Power Pass is park-to-park admission with blockout dates. Obviously, we just went over that. Now, you do get 50% off daytime self-parking, which is, I think it's like $30, so you have $15 is what you would have to pay. And then you do get discounts and admission to special select concerts and events, like the Mardi Gras concert and stuff. So that's interesting. I didn't even realize this, that you don't get access to the concerts if you have seasonal, which makes sense because a friend of mine had seasonal and he couldn't go to the Mardi Gras concert. So that makes sense, okay? So that's another, reason you may not want the seasonal, even though it's the most expensive. But if you don't care about, the special, events, like the concerts and stuff like that, you're golden. You're golden. I don't really care about them. So if I didn't live here, I'd probably have something like the seasonal pass. But let's move on to preferred, which is the next step up. Now, this one does not have any blockout dates. You can come whenever you want to. The thing to remember about this one is they do have free self-parking, discounted parking. You do get early park admission, but that has blockout dates. Not all of them are, able for you to be able to go through. They do have blockout dates on some of the early park admission, which if you get up late like I do or later like I do, it doesn't matter to you. So here are the blockout dates here, September 1st through the 31st for Islands. And usually for Universal, they do early park admission, but during different times, like during HHN and stuff. So right now, I don't think they are blocking it out because, if you're coming in and they close the park at 5 o'clock for Universal for Halloween Horror Nights, you really don't have to worry about it. So that's cool. That's a good thing to know. And then you get, obviously, with your preferred pass, you get discounted food, merchandise, specialty items, Universal Orlando hotel discounts, admission to select events and concerts, and discounts on themes, different themed events. So now let's move on to the Big Daddy. This is the Premier Pass, The Premier Pass, which is $905. You can pay less than $44 a month for this one. To me, this is the most bang for your buck. Now, we have some friends of ours that they don't live here, but they come here all the time. They have the Preferred Pass because they stay on property most of the time when they come. So they don't even drive. They have an Uber drive them over, and then they just stay on property the whole time, which makes a lot of sense for them. But if you don't want to stay on property and you want to do something else, or if you're local and you don't have to pay for parking every time, or you want to get free prime parking, this is the way to go with the Premier Pass. You get park-to-park admission, no blockout dates. You get all early park admission. You don't have any blockout dates on that. You get free parking, and then you also get free valet and prime parking after your first visit. So obviously you got to visit, you do everything there, and then you get your prime parking after that. So how does that work exactly? Well, valet is something that that we have used in the past, but we don't use it all the time because a lot of times they don't expect you to tip, but it's kind of one of those things where you do want to tip, and usually anywhere from $3 to $5 or whatever. But I was going so much and so frequently, and I still do go pretty frequently, that is, if I would give a tip every time, I just wouldn't be able to do it. So I don't utilize that because of that now. But most of the time I use prime parking. Prime parking usually gets you in the Kong section or the Jaws section of either left side of the parking garage. Usually if you get there early enough. If you're not there early enough, then we get into question whether it's true prime parking or not. But that's a totally different video for a totally different time. Like I said, you get early park admission, you get discounted food, merchandise, and specialty items. Also, here's the big one. You get one free Halloween Horror Nights ticket. So those are subject to the dates that Universal will allow. I totally missed out on this just a little while ago and thought we had a night, and we showed up and we looked really stupid when they told us it wasn't for us that night. So if you're going to do that, be aware that you do have select dates. All you got to do is just show up and they scan your ticket and it confirms that you get to use your free one for that night. So that is really awesome. And of course, you get discounts on select parks and special events and access to all of the concerts, which is awesome. So here's the thing. This obviously is the cheaper pass. Now, this one does not include Volcano Bay. It does not include Volcano Bay. We will briefly go over that in just a little bit. But these are the two park passes, Universal Orlando and Islands of Adventure, which I think is amazing. But the thing to remember is that you can do monthly payments on this if you can't come, it doesn't, meet your needs or meet where you're at to be able to afford a vacation with all this expensive stuff. You have a family of 4 and, you can just kind of vary off your passes, like who has this and who has this one and stuff like that. That's what a lot of families will do. And I think this is the smarter way to go. This is where Universal has everybody else beat in town, is they allow for out-of-state people to be able to make monthly payments on these passes. Now, we do it. We live here, and we do it because really for us, it's like $2,000 a year if we were to just fork it out. And most of the time, people that have $2,000 or whatever, not everyone can shell that out at the same time. But we do it because it's easy, and that's how we started it, and we just continue with that. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the Florida resident prices really quick. Actually, let's do the 3 park passes real quick. This includes Volcano Bay, and Volcano Bay seasonal pass is $525, Power Pass is $585, Preferred is $740, and Premier is $1095. It's getting up there. It's starting to get a little steep, but it's still the cheaper pass than the mouse down the street. So for now, when Epic Universe opens, we might be talking about something a little bit different. Now, this one, the Preferred Pass does include some blockout dates, of course, and Premier Pass, you get everything pretty much open. Power Pass is $29 a month, $36 a month for Preferred, and $54 for Premier. So it ups about, what it was like, $10 more a month, something like that. We don't have this pass. We probably should get one, but we don't have it. But yeah, so definitely all the same benefits and everything like that. Now, if you're a Florida resident and you're like, hey, I need some Florida resident discounts, let's take a look at this real quick. Seasonal Pass is $325, Power Pass is $375, Preferred is $530, and Premier is $790. Please feel free to pause this video at any time to write these numbers down. If you're like me, you like to get everything calculated and do this. And so that is a way to look at this, is like, how am I going to do this? So as a annual pass holder for Florida residents, actually with the seasonal pass, you can make monthly payments on it. $16 a month for that one. So that is the difference between being a Florida resident and non-Florida resident. You can make payments on the seasonal pass if you want to. Power Pass is $19 a month. Preferred is $26 a month. And the Premier is $39 a month, which is not bad. And all the same benefits that you have seen before. I am going to put those down below so that you guys can see that and you can kind of decide for yourself. At the end of the day, here is the big question for you. What is the most affordable? What can I do and how much can I pay to make a vacation fun and not stressful, where I'm worried about money when I get back, where I have to max out my credit cards? I believe that Universal has made a way for you to do so. Angie and I used to make many trips down here before we lived here, and we would come here all the time. We'd come here 3 or 4 times a year. we paid more in hotel stays than we did the actual annual pass. Well, at least it seemed that way. Actually, it was. After 2 trips, it was more for our hotel stay than it was our annual pass. So it's just a way to look at it and see if you're coming down here. Now, we can make a whole separate video, and we will soon, about what ticket prices are and how you can do that. We're going to start doing more things like this on the channel, but I encourage you, if you're coming to Universal Orlando and you feel like you really enjoy it and you really want to come more, an annual pass is the best way to do it. They have a special way of just treating you and just doing things, and it's just an easy process to get in. You don't have to make reservations. As of right now, Disney World still in 2023, October 2023, still requires you to do park reservations to get in. But soon that might go away, but that's neither here nor there. You're trying to figure out about Universal if it's better for you. If you're a Disney person and you don't know about Universal, I beg you to just give Universal one chance, one time, be immersed in the full thing. I guarantee you will have a blast, you will have fun, and you might say, it's not as crowded here. It's not as busy here. It's kind of fun. It has a vibe to it. I grew up as a Universal kid, and I will always be a Universal kid, and I love it. But thank you guys so much for watching today. If you have any questions, please comment down below. We will answer them to the best of our ability, and we always answer all comments that come in. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button and the notification bell so you know when our next video is coming out. And remember, the road goes ever on. We'll see you next time.